Hiya! So this is a video tutorial on the piece Rush Hour Dash by Pam Wedgwood. It's in this book, Upgrade Piano, grades 1 to 2, and we're on page 8. So this video is going to start with me playing the piece all the way through, and then I'll break it down. And I'm going to be talking particularly how to add lots of character and personality to this piece. You can use this video in lots of different ways, of course. You can adjust the playback speed of the tempo to suit you. You can play along with me, hands together or hands separately, or you could just sit back, relax and listen. Following the music whilst I play is always a good idea as well. Right, enough talking from me, let's have a go. This is how it should sound. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's an awesome piece and there's so much opportunity for putting in lots of character into this piece. The first thing I want to talk about is the tempo change at the start. Now it says vivace at the start, which means fast and lively. We can also see that there's a tempo instruction here, accelerando, and then here it says a tempo. So we do need to talk about these things. Now you notice I probably started a little bit slower than vivace here. That's because I'm bearing in mind we have this acceleration, this increase in speed all the way throughout these 4 bars here. So I would approach it in a controlled way, have a clear indication, have a clear idea, in mind of how fast you want to achieve your speed by the time you get here. But you also need to have a clear idea in your mind about how fast you want to be playing this main section of the piece. So essentially, that needs to be practiced. So essentially, I want you to start slower here and then gradually in equal increments increase the tempo as you go through here. The next thing I want to talk about is the cantabile. When your melody appears here, you really need to bring out this right hand melody. So making sure that you play that louder than the accompaniment here in the left hand. And even when the dynamics change, and we'll talk about the dynamics in a moment, the melody still always has to sound out. So for example, if I show you a louder right hand melody, I'm looking at the last note of bar 5 going into bar 6, I'm going to be using my wrist a little bit more and my forearm to kind of weigh into or lean into those notes. And also have a think about the phrasing as well. How are you going to shape these phrases? There aren't any phrase markings written in, but if I was to write in a phrase mark, it would be over these 2 bars. And then maybe over the next 2 bars. Certainly, over these 2 bars, this bit's the same rhythm, isn't it, as that bit there. So have a think about how you'd add shaping to create a sense of direction in your phrasing. If I play it to you with no phrasing, no shape, and both hands equal dynamics, this is what it would sound like. Sounds kind of robotic and mechanic. So, what you want to have is that kind of ebb and flow like this. Yeah, so you've got to have some shape and adding some colour in there. So in terms of other dynamics in the piece, we've got quite sudden changes overall, really, haven't we? That's what's written in. This bit starts mezzo forte. This bit here starts quiet, which is quite nice as it acts as a bit of an echo to this bit, and then it goes quiet, loud, quiet, loud. There is an opportunity, however, for a bit of a crescendo here. going to this double bar, and of course at the start as well there was a crescendo as we go through this accelerando introduction. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the articulation, so the staccato and the legato. There is some very clear articulation marked in, but it's only here and here. So please make sure you are definitely bringing that out. That's going to add loads of character like this, like that, and practicing it slowly like I am is quite a good idea. Connecting the first to the second note, but that second note is a definite staccato. And don't forget the rests as well in between. What we don't want is this. That's not what we're after at all. And you've got to use your wrists to help you achieve the depth of sound and volume on the first of each of those quavers. But yeah, apart from that, oh yeah, I've just spotted as well, that little pattern is here, of course. But apart from that, we don't have any articulation marked in, but please assume that most of it is legato. You can experiment with a bit of detachedness, I like to say, in the left hand, just for variation. But, you know, make sure you're putting in these things because that's going to add to the character. Okay, I hope that's helped. Let me know how you get on. Take care. See you soon.